Yeah. Ah! What the? Ah, jeez.
Hey, dude.
I thought that was Puppet Duvall for a minute.
Well, no,
I got scared, but it's just
trying to get you acclimated to puppets, because it's maybe that way you have like a better understanding and appreciation of the puppet.
I don't want to be acclimated to the puppets. I just don't like Puppet Duvall.
What's wrong with Puppet Duvall?
He stinks.
That's not that bad.
And he bites.
I bite sometimes.
And he does all this weird stuff with these board games. I mean, I don't even want to play a game. I just don't like them.
Dude, it's okay. Don't cry.
I want to play with the Rock Lords.
Look, Piggy says it's okay.
I guess. So I guess we're just gonna go play some games again. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's creepy.
Why?
I'm out of here.
Are we gonna play board games still? Catch up with you later.
The smiles around, 'cause there's a new game in town. It's time to excite at the roll of the dice. With friendship comes epic wins and defeats. It's a land of adventure with board.
Hey gang, welcome to an all-new episode of Board. We're your hosts. I'm Duvall.
And I'm Pixel Dan.
Gang, this show's all about the board games from the 50s to the today. From the 50s to the today. You get what I'm trying to say. And the show shows you all of the good and the bad that the board game industry has had to offer over the many decades. And, well, Dan and I sit down and play them all. And last week we got to play the Slime game from Mattel.
So amazing. Maybe we get to play the Slime game again today.
Wouldn't that be boring for them?
Well, it would be fun for me.
That's true.
You guys are cool with that.
I don't know if I've ever seen you quite excited.
I love the Slime game.
I think when cupcakes come around, you get about that excited, but I've never...
I like slime better than cupcakes.
Really?
Slime...
You can't eat slime.
Well, I mean, you can eat slime.
Oh.
Don't act like you've never tried it.
But of course, in order for us to bite that back, to play a game... No, God, Josh.
It's like lime.
Let's go.
Jello.
Oh, God. In order for us to play a game, we have to hope and pray that the puppet that lives in the closet in my upstairs office will actually open the door to the board game stash so we can get a board game from it. Or actually, he could give us a board game.
I don't know why I always forget about that.
Yeah, how can you forget? He's your arch nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah.
So let's turn around. Hope this door opens and hope that we get a cool game like we got last week to play. And if we did, you might see Danny's head explode.
My head explode.
Might happen. Oh!
There's that.
God, I hate that.
Yeah.
Why does my closet emit light supernaturally when it opens?
You should probably get that looked at.
I don't think he has power in there, though. How is he doing this? It's like he has magical powers. Oh, that's a scary thought.
Oh. Dude. You think I'd be used to it, but I'm not. Not used to it.
Bad.
I'm really not used to it.
I still don't understand how you do that. I don't get it.
So what's up, puppet thing? How about a game today?
Dude, do you gotta start like that every time?
Well, he's not a very nice thing. He's very, very mean.
I wouldn't stick your finger out there. You're gonna get
jerk. Ah! He's biting me! Duvall! Make him stop! Make him stop!
No! Bad!
What the heck?
You know better.
Look, you get the game, I'm out of here.
Dude, see what you did? Oh, Puppet Duvall. We gotta do something about this biting issue, It's just Danny. You should be used to him by now. Can we have a board game to play this week? That'd be... Really? I didn't know you had this in there. Well, thanks. Sacred Arcs are fun. It's so weird, all these games, and I can never get to them except on this show. I'd like to play some of these sometime.
Yeah.
What the? So, how? You were just in front of me. How did you get to the table so fast?
I was tired.
How does that even work?
What are you so confused about?
So, I want a fedora now.
Oh, I got you one. It's over there. You gotta take this off though. Oh. There you go.
Don't do it. People will see my bald spot, which is why I wear the hat to hide. Yeah. Shut your mouth.
What? I didn't.
I saw you nod. So, Raiders of the Lost Ark from Kenner, of all things. Kenner.
Those guys made the toys.
I know. Well, they also made a board game, which is kind of unique because I don't think Kenner made a whole lot of board games that I'm aware of.
Kenner doesn't know board games.
Kenner knows Star Wars, which was done by George Lucas, who did this movie with Steven Spielberg.
I had no idea.
I know, right?
Thanks for explaining it.
It's crazy how that all just comes around. It's nuts.
So, we're gonna play this game.
We are. Raiders of the Lost Ark, this was brought out in 1981. It was brought out at the time Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. This wasn't the only Raiders of the Lost game, Raiders of the Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark game. I get it out there, people. On the market at the time. They were actually two different games. One, I believe, was for Milton Bradley, and the other one was Kenner, which is very strange for any type of licensed board game to actually have two separate board games out from two different companies at the same time with two completely different gameplays. But today, we're taking a look at the Kenner version of said Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, which is fedoras. I don't have a whip. I could use your
Where's
belt.
your whip?
I could use a belt as a whip.
That would not work as well.
It worked pretty good.
Do we need a whip to play this? Is that like a required piece?
I don't think so. None of the kids on the back have a whip.
Okay, well then we should be good.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, let's pop this box open. Take a look at our accessories included within.
Let's do it.
Don't look at the Ark, though. Oh, your face will melt off.
Do we need shield our eyes when we're opening this box?
Probably. It's probably a good idea. All right, so Raiders of the Lost Ark from Kenner. Awesome box front if you think about it, because the artwork here is actually done by a very, very popular artist named Steranko. And he did a lot of the pre-production artwork for Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, I mean, this is actually, the artwork on here actually used some of the pre-production artwork from the film, which is kind of neat. Let's pop the top open here.
Ah!
Your face didn't melt off. It's
okay,
fine.
good.
So
I'm scared.
We'll take a look at the board here in a second, but we've got our instruction manual with Indy on the front there in the map room there with the staff getting ready to figure out where the Ark's at.
Sweet.
And on the back you've got this really interesting, like, I don't know, it looks like a college drawing or somebody drew it in their notebook. Like this inked drawing of Indy that's not really well done at all.
Pretty awesome, I
think.
You
would. And then you've got a little bag full of accessories. So in here, you got 6 playing pieces, a red, a green, a purple, a blue, a yellow, and a white. Look at that. Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick purple.
How did I guess? How did I guess? You got a little dice, and by little I mean literally a little dice.
It's tiny.
That's a small die. And then all the fun Raiders of the Lost Ark cards here for the game. A lot of cards there. Quite a few. Get to those here in a second. Let's put this awesome box down her. And then you've got the game board, which is actually kind of cool. I know, right? Some decent artwork on there. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Just like a map.
Yeah, pretty much just like a map with the Raiders of the Lost Ark game logo down there. I like how they had put the logo with the word game in it, so
they just typed game underneath.
Yeah, you knew what you were playing. We've got Peru and Mexico and good old USA and Germany and Russia and Egypt and Nepal and South Africa and Ireland.
That's just Island. That's just the name of it.
It's just Ireland.
Got it.
You know, I mean, where else is it going to be, right? Couldn't be like the Galapagos Island. Or...
Tasmania.
Ooh, I like Tasmania.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they just called it Island.
Okay, Island.
So, that's all the fun stuff that comes with this board.
I'm a hand model.
You are a hand model. It's very well done. To begin with, we place our tokens on one of the countries here on the board.
And only one of us can occupy that country. So stay out, Duvall.
But I want to hang out and stuff.
No!
Next, we give the deck of cards here a good shuffle. And then we each start drawing cards until one of us finds one of the countries. This will be the location of the Ark for the entire game.
So since we already know where the Ark is, doesn't that defeat the purpose of playing an Indiana Jones game?
Normally, I would say yes, but there's more. See, we return all the cards to the deck, reshuffle, and then we each get 6 cards.
No peeking, Duvall.
Hey, same to you, Pixel.
Let me guess what's next. We roll the dice to see who goes first.
Oh, yep, how'd you know?
I rolled a 5.
Alright.
What's cool here is that some of the spaces have instructions on them, like bandits attack, lose 1 turn.
And move 5 spaces. Most of these spaces make you lose a turn. One forces you to follow the polar route, and the one I mentioned actually does help you out.
But you have to land on these by an exact roll to have them affect you.
Okay, before we get too far into the game, let's take a look at the cards.
On your turn, you can choose to either roll the dice,
or play one of the cards in your hand.
And playing a card counts as your turn, so you can't roll the dice as well.
The cards here are pretty unique. The ambush card allows you to draw a card from your opponent's hand.
The hostage card, which lets you send your opponent to an unoccupied space and lose their next turn.
The passport cards, which you will need to pass through the checkpoints in the game.
The air passage cards, which let you roll the dice and double that roll count.
And the country cards, which allow you to move your token to any unoccupied country and draw a new card from the deck.
There are also the cards that will allow you to win the game, which are
the Map Room,
the Staff of Ra, and the legendary Ark of the Covenant.
The game board here is rather unique as well. See how some of these paths just seem like they end?
Yeah, what do we do then? Go backwards?
Actually, think of this game board as a globe. When you hit the end, you simply come out the other side.
Alright, let's get going. So, when I move, which way do I go?
Well, you can travel in any direction, but you have to stay on your chosen path direction until you come to either an intersection or an unoccupied country.
So if I reach an unoccupied country, can I travel back the way I just came from?
Yes, sir, you may.
Sweet.
We talked about needing passports for checkpoints earlier.
Yeah, so?
Well, see these little red arrow spaces?
Yeah?
Let's say you're moving with the arrow's flow of traffic. You come to that arrow. You need a passport card to play immediately, or you lose your next turn.
Doesn't that mean I'm stuck then? I can't move without a passport?
No, after you get to move again, you can just continue on.
What if you're moving against the flow of traffic and you come to the arrow?
Well, you won't need a passport there. You can just keep moving.
Gotcha.
And just like if you use a card to go there, when you land on or pass through an unoccupied country, you draw another card and add it to your hand.
What if I have to move into an occupied country?
Well, if you happen to have a die roll that sends you into an occupied country, you actually can't enter, and you lose your next turn.
That's kind of bogus.
Want to hear even more bogusness?
That's not a word, Duvall.
But that's not important. If you happen to pass another player while moving, you actually get to take a card from his or her hand and place it into your own.
What if it happens when you are in a country?
That's really the only place you're safe. But if you happen to land on the other player's space by an exact count, you can choose to move their piece anywhere on the board.
Alright, so how do we win?
The first player to obtain the map, the staff, and the Ark cards and make their way to the location of the Ark that we chose at the start of the game is the winner.
Dude, I only got one card. Look at what?
What? No. Dude, don't tell me. Come on. No, seriously?
Peru. This is where the Ark was, right?
Yeah, that's where we chose where the Ark was, right?
Oh, look, I also have the Ark in my hand. In addition, I have the Staff of Ra and the map room.
Come on.
I think that means I win the game. Dun 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 dun. Pixel wins. Dun 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 dun. I always win. Dun 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 dun. Do a dance. Little purple guy, purple guy, purple guy, purple guy. Because I have the purple pawn.
Oh, no, I got it. No, I'm following your song. It's tremendous. So, Kenner's Raiders of the Lost Ark game.
I won.
Thank you. Would you like to tell the viewers what you thought of said Raiders of the Lost Ark game?
I think it is a pretty good game.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Archaeology. This game is actually... It seems quite complicated when you start talking about the rules. You talk about how the board acts like a globe, where if you're going across to the USA here, you literally come out the other side.
What, like the world's round or something?
It's not flat.
This looks flat.
I know, right? It's crazy. So, the board acting as a globe, you know, you've got the different cards, like the hostage cards and such, that you can play against your players. I like the fact that you can either roll the dice or play a card in your hand. So, let's say your opponent's got a ton of cards, and you've got, like, you know, 2 or 3 like ambush cards. You can just pull their cards from their hand and just keep playing those every turn and keep hoping and crossing that you pull one of the very few Ark, Staff, or Map rooms that they may or may not have in their hands. I had 2 Staff of Ra's in my hand.
Had them both.
Only 2 cards in the game for Staff of Ra. Had them both. So there's really no chance.
It's a pretty common theme I'm starting to notice with board games, where when you're reading the instructions, your head starts to hurt.
Yes.
But then you play the game and you're like, oh, that's not so bad.
No, not
and
at all.
that's exactly how this game was, because basically, in the simplest terms, what you're doing is you're just running around the world, anywhere on this board, drawing those cards until you get the 3 cards you need.
Yes.
And then you go to the end of the board.
Yes.
You go to where the Ark is. That's, in the simplest terms, that's how you play this game.
Yes.
Now, of course, there's all these little rules in between, but that's the gist of this game. You're running around this board from country to country to find these artifacts in order to win the game.
That's right. And the fact that there's, I mean, like you said, the rules seem like they're so, I mean, they seem like they're so complicated. Like, there's so much to them. I mean, you know, you need a passport to go this way on the arrow, but if you're following this way on the arrow, you can go through it. Or, you know, you can't sit on an occupied country if you go through an unoccupied country. I mean, there's so much there that you're like, you got to remember to do. And once you play through it once, and you're like, oh, this actually, like Dan said, is really simple. It's not that hard. It actually makes the game a lot of fun. This game does tend to take a little while because there's so much that you can do to keep pulling cards from each other's hands and trying to draw the 3 cards you need to get back to the, you know, to get back to the country that has the Ark that you selected at the beginning of the game. And then you've got all the, you know, the Lost in the Jungle, lose a turn, you know, Tailwind, move 3 spaces. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to this game that really make the gameplay exciting at times, because you really never know where it's going to go.
It can get frustrating, though, too. Like, if you're in an instance like what we had, I had both Staff of Ra's. I mean, how are you supposed to know that I've got both of those in my hand, and you've got to get one of them in order to win? I mean, I could hold on to those for the entire game with you just running around drawing cards, never having any idea, you know? So it's I think that's kind of a flaw.
It is. There's
honest.
A little bit of a flaw there with that, because they only included so many of the staff and the maps. I mean, if you flip through this deck here, you'll find,
I mean, you'd have to use a lot of ambush cards and stuff like that to just keep taking cards out of my hand and hope that you get the cards that you need.
Exactly. I mean, there's 3 map rooms.
So, I mean, like he said, this could take a while.
There's 3 map rooms, 2 staffs, and an Ark, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
So
it could really take some time.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be one of those games where you get real lucky and it's over real quick, or you could be sitting here all night long just trading cards back and forth.
And I think their goal was to make it as challenging as they could by limiting the amount of the cards that were in the deck for the map, the staff, and the Ark. I mean, you've got 3 maps, 2 staffs, and an Ark. That does make it very challenging and doesn't really it's not really lopsided in either way. Either player could win. It's just a matter of luck of the draw and whether or not you're really good at using your cards to pull other cards from players and cross your fingers that you pull one of those cards from his hand and keep it.
Yeah. Also, I won. What are you so upset for? I don't know why. Why can't you just be happy for me once, huh?
Yeah.
Just be happy for me because, like you said, it's luck of the draw. Luck was in my favor.
Right.
Because I'm more like Indiana Jones than you.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I got the hat, and your hat's like a knockoff or something. And see, look, that's why I'm wearing the hat because I'm Indiana Pixel.
Should lean in real close. Take a look at that for me.
Oh, but because I can tell that it's not real.
A little closer.
See, you
can
see.
Get in there.
No, you just want me to like inspect it?
Really get in there.
Because I can tell that it's not real. Hey guys! You got some fan questions you want to ask us? You want to send us some cool fan art? Or maybe just tell us how awesome we are? Well, you can do that by sending an email to board@toyworldorder.com. At the end of this season, we're going to do a fan special where we're going to show you some behind the scenes footage and maybe even answer some fan letters. So shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you guys. Or hey, have you seen last week's episode yet? You can click right here to check it out. Until next time,